This is a 26,000 ruble class 1 armor face shield that doesn't actually protect your head, only your face. Why are we seeing Chads run this over exfils or other helmets that cost like 10 times as much? Is it a meme or is this actually meta? In this video, we are going to find out. I'm Jessekazam. Welcome back to another Escape From Tarkov video. If you like this video, think about dropping a like, commenting down below, or subscribing to the channel for more content like this. I stream Escape From Tarkov on Twitch. All my links will be down below. I'd love to have you stop by and say hey. But with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so of course we are talking about the shattered face mask in Escape From Tarkov. This is like we said, just a mask. It is class 1 armor, and it only covers your eyes and jaws, which means it does not cover the ears hitbox or the head or the nape or anything, just the face. And I don't know if you are like me, but I've been seeing these everywhere. You start seeing them on labs, you start seeing them on other maps as well. And it kind of flips everything on its script, right? All we're taught in Tarkov is the higher the class, the better. You know, for all intents and purposes, the more expensive, the better. Why are people running this later into the wipe as opposed to early into the wipe? Why is it that when more people are getting more guns and better gear, that people are running worse and worse face shields and helmets? Well, similar to in our last meme or meta, we were talking a lot about ricochet chance, and that's kind of what it boils down to here. It has a high ricochet chance. Now, if you don't know, we can break it down again. The way a ricochet chance works on a helmet is it's basically the game asking when a bullet hits you before it calculates how much damage or penetration the round has, and what the class of the helmet is, and if it's going to kill you. It asks, did this ricochet? If yes, it just ricochets. It just ricochets no matter what. So this is a class 1 helmet, or mask, I guess. But if somebody shot M61 at you with like 63 pen, if it says yes, it ricochets, it just ricochets. And you take a little bit of damage to this, the armor points would go down from 40 to 36, and you would live that. So that is basically what people are purchasing at this point, is just a way to get ricochet chance. Well, why? Once again, why are they investing in that as opposed to a helmet with a high ricochet chance as well? That's also a class 4 armor. You know what I mean? Like, why aren't people using these? I mean, this is still one of the most popular helmets. I'm not saying people aren't using them, but why are we seeing this happen more often? Well, it kind of just comes down to what's worth your money, and the way that things are set up in Escape From Tarkov right now with the ammo and what we have. Once we get to mid to late game, the cost associated with using these helmets becomes harder and harder to justify. So if you're new to Escape From Tarkov and you haven't played a ton, then you might not know what all these ammos are. But I used Battle Buddy, and I took an exfil helmet, which is a class 4 helmet, which this is as good as it gets if you want ear protection, which is incredibly important in Tarkov so you can hear. It's class 4, high ricochet chance. This is basically as best as you can get if you still wanted to be able to hear. I took this in Battle Buddy, and I found not even all, but a bunch of rounds that have a 90% or more chance to penetrate this helmet on the very first shot. And that would be 545 BS. In 556, you've got 55A1 and 995, and the new ammo, the FMJ or AP from an MP7, M80, M62, or M61 from 308, 300 Blackout AP, 762 BP for the Val and the VSS, SP6, SPP, and BP, and even the 366 AP round, which is like the meme round for the Vepr and the VPO. All of those rounds have an 85 to 90% chance or more to pen this helmet on the very first shot. The helmet, not the face shield, the actual helmet. And then if we add rounds that have a 50 to 75% chance to pen on the first shot, you can include really cheap rounds such as 56A1, 545 BT, the P90 round, SS190, the 45 ACP AP round, and SP5 out of a Val or a VSS. So we know that headshots are devastating in Escape from Tarkov. And once we get later into the wipe and we see that those rounds are very accessible, and most of the rounds that will one-tap this at a 90% chance are very accessible as well. And then if you're talking about the face shield, which is a class 3, or the ears, now you can add a whole slew of ammunitions in, like even 9mm, 9mm AP 6.3 can destroy this face shield really quickly. So that hopefully puts into perspective some of the thought process. Now, these can absolutely save you. It has a high ricochet chance, so you can get that not just on your face, but actually on like the back of your head, the top of your head. And it's got decent armor points. This is great for scav protection and stuff like that. But I think the point here is that the farther we get into the wipe, and the more people focus on PvP, the question is, if I'm going for PvP, is anybody going to be running anything that can't pen this? Because if so, why am I spending all the money on it? And a lot of people have asked that question. Are helmets worth it in Escape from Tarkov? And I've even made videos about it, but there's no easy way to answer that question because it depends on what you're doing. If you're if you have a few thousand hours in Tarkov or even a few hundred hours in Tarkov and you're going in for PvP, you want to go kill people, you want to go find other players, well, those guys have been moving towards stuff like this where they're going to be facing their enemy and they're just banking on that ricochet chance. They know that if they're going up against that M61, 308 MDR or SA58, they're just not going to win if the dude gets a headshot on them. If you like a more slower play style and you want to, go either for PvE and PvP, or you're doing some quests and you kill a guy or you find one of these, this is going to be great because there's not a whole lot of scavs that are going to be able to one-shot through this, maybe through the face shield with like 762 PS, but these things are going to be great. But if you're purchasing this for that, then we're kind of in a realm where you're spending a lot of money on something that only provides you that little protection against other scavs and players and stuff like that. So it kind of comes down to, you have to decide for yourself what's worth it, what your budget is. And if you want to invest the money in something like this, you have to decide your play style. What are you going for? What are you using? I use a helmet basically every single raid, and they totally save my life all the time. The ricochet chance, even on helmets without high ricochet, I get shot in the face by scavs and buckshot and stuff like that quite frequently. And helmets save my life all the time. But more often than not, I get either one tap through a helmet, I get center of mass killed, I get, legged, magnum buck to my leg. Over 10 raids, my helmet might only save me one time. So 10% isn't a lot. But at the same time, I also don't purchase helmets. I make a priority to get them out of raid while I'm looting. Like U-locks. I haven't purchased a U-lock in actually months, a long time this way. They're class 4, high ricochet chance, decent armor points. They don't have a face shield, but you can wear ear protection with them. This is a great helmet to pull out of a raid for free. The Bastion is a class 4 helmet as well. You've got the little class 6 thing here, which I wouldn't buy. High ricochet chance. The airframe, you can see this one's found in raid. I just found that somewhere. I don't purchase helmets for that exact reason. I don't know if I can justify spending tens of thousands of rubles or hundreds of thousands of rubles on something that only saves me potentially, 8 to 10% of the time. But if I'm pulling out of the raid and it's free, it's definitely worth it. I think at this point in Tarkov, if you're in the end game and you're going for PvP, it's really mostly scav protection. The amount of times outside of just strictly ricochet chance, the amount of times that a helmet saves you in PvP is pretty low. Your mileage may vary, of course. So you're seeing people move more towards these because, once again, this is 26,000 rubles. And if you stack up what an exfil is brand new from Peacekeeper, it's almost 250,000 rubles to purchase the helmet, the ears, and the face shield, because we're talking USD here. 1,300 USD, 300 USD, 367 USD, 250,000 rubles just for a helmet, class 4, class 3, class 3. That seems kind of out of control. That seems way out of the kind of purview of what's worth it. I've got 82 million rubles, and I don't really buy these things from scratch because it just feels like you're just flushing money down the toilet, which is why people are moving this way. Now, it's up to you to decide if that's a good thing or a bad thing, if you want in the video game armor to feel like it matters, or if you don't want to lengthen the time to kill or whatever. You decide if that's worth it or not. You decide if you like that or not. But I think we've been seeing these around, and this is a really cheap way to just get high ricochet chance on your face if you're facing your enemy. You can buy 7 of them. They're 26,000 rubles. There's not a huge stock of them. I haven't really seen them sold out, but I also don't purchase a lot of them, so maybe they do sell out, but I've never seen them sold out. So yeah, that's the Shattered Mask. You know what I mean? It's something that's funny that you're seeing people use that actually has some logic and reason behind it, whether you agree or disagree, whether you would use it or not use it. But it really feels like that's where kind of the game is, where spending as little money as possible is worth it, or you go for broke and get something like an Altyn, because everything in the middle kind of feels rough in its current state. So that's the other thing that we can bring up is the Altyn, which is a class 5 helmet and class 5 face shield, also with a high ricochet chance. Now we're in the 160 to 200K realm, and you lose the ability to put on headphones. But that's just kind of where we are. It's like this has less and less of a place because of later and later in the fight, because of how many people have access to ammunition that can just basically render this useless. And its only redeeming quality is then the high ricochet chance. So now you've got two ends of the spectrum. You've got go Altyn, where you're sacrificing the ability to hear, but you've got class 5 protection on your face, class 5 protection on your head, high ricochet chance. Now you're going to be stopping some shots. If go up against somebody with a vector, you're going to be stopping some shots. You're going to be stopping big boy rounds. Or go to the other end of the spectrum and purchase this for super cheap and just bank on that ricochet chance, or just try not to get shot in the head. And if you kind of wanted something in the middle, people always used to make fun of me for running this stuff, but the LZSH has a medium ricochet chance, but it's a class 3 helmet. It's significantly cheaper than the Exfil, and you can go back and put the Fast MT class 3 face shield on it. This comes out to a little under 100K for that setup. And that kind of seems at least more well-rounded to me. You've got a little bit less of a ricochet chance, but a little bit higher armor class. So that means a lot more scav rounds are going to actually be eaten up by the LCSH helmet, as opposed to just fly right through. Once again, the Shattered Mask isn't a helmet. It does not protect your head or the back of your head. So that's kind of like a middle ground where you get a little bit of ricochet chance, you get a little bit more protection from scavs, from buckshot, you get the face shield, and you're not spending 250,000 rubles. That to me feels like a more sensible middle step, because this is 26, the LZSH would be 100, and then the Altyn would be about 200K. This sitting at the 250,000 ruble mark if you're going for PvP, in my opinion, doesn't really seem like it has a whole lot of value. So I'm definitely not telling you to go buy and only use the Shattered Mask. Like I said, the way I play it is I'm just pulling helmets out. That way I always have one on. And because I always have one on, it feels like at least every single day I get shot in the head and it either ricochets or the helmet eats the round. And I'm like, man, I'm really glad that I, survived that raid. I've had a helmet ricochet 2 rounds in a row before. I got shot in the head, it ricocheted, I repositioned, the guy repositioned with me, he shot me in the head again, it ricocheted again, and then I was able to kill that guy. So you just never know your luck. I'm always pulling helmets out, but it's always up to you to kind of make that decision for yourself. I just thought that this was a great, perfect thing to go for another episode of Meme or Meta, because it seems so ridiculous, but it does have at least a sliver of reasoning behind it. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Hopefully maybe this made you think about helmets and ammo in maybe a different light, and got you to try some new things with helmets in Escape from Tarkov. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out this video. If you liked it, think about dropping a like, commenting down below, or subscribing to the channel. That stuff helps me out a ton. I stream Escape from Tarkov on Twitch. All my links will be down below. I'd love to have you stop by and say hey. And if you're looking for people to play Tarkov with, our Discord server is an awesome place to be. That link is down below as well. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I will definitely see y'all on the next one.